Okay, so right now I'm standing here with John, and we're filming at St. Charles, and I'm actually taking footage right now with the Canon 24mm and then the Sony.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing what he's got his set up here as a tripod.
So this here is a shutter release cable. It's the manual way of doing things.
Yes.
Even though my camera has software on my iPhone that I can use to trigger it,
Yeah.
I still like the feel of this and the ability that I have with this.
Yeah.
Versus like, even though yes, the iPhone is cool and it's handy when I need it.
Yeah.
It may seem strange, but there's just something to this tactile version.
No, it's all good.
You know,
how do you plug it in?
Okay, yeah. So on the side of the camera here, if you come around on this side, actually it's illuminated by this light, so you'll be able to see it good.
Yeah.
Right here, there's these ports. Like I have an HDMI port. I have a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, this right here is where this one goes, and this is like, what is this, Frank? Is this the quarter version of a audio mic?
Yeah, it's a 1/3.
1/3, yeah. That's the same, the equivalent of that, whatever that is. I forget. Okay, so you just put it in there. So now this will override this shutter. The button here, when you press to obviously take a photo.
Right.
The shutter release, that is. So now it's here. So now I can just stand back. I can get this set up, which we have it set up. We got it at, I'm in manual mode, and I'm using my LCD viewfinder here to examine the area, which is what Frank has taught me to do, because I always look through the viewfinder. But anyways,
very nice composition too. Yep.
So we got it composed the same way. It looks like it's the same as what you just did.
Right.
Now we got 13 seconds for shutter speed, so that means the iris will be open for 13 seconds. We're at f11. That's what this 11 is for aperture the aperture. Okay. And we're at ISO 100. So I'm going to go ahead and take this.
Okay.
And we're going to see what happens.
And just so you guys can see what we're shooting is this building right here, is Municipal building in St. Charles. And he's got a cable release, is what you're seeing right now.
Okay,
He's
now the shutter just closed. So look, it says busy, so it's processing. Here's the
I'll put this
picture
on the screen, so I may use this photo in the video later on, just to show the. I think it looks really
so
good.
Here, let's zoom in actually, if you can see that in there, because I was focused on the same point, the building here.
Oh wow, look at that.
So that looks pretty good. Now I'm using my 18 to 55.
You're way sharper than me, as you usually are.
But I'm using my 18 to 55 zoom lens. So if you look at this thing, remember on the when we did the critique, and I had my butterfly,
yes,
and bee and peacock.
That's
photo.
what it was.
This is the one I go to a lot of times, like when we're walking around.
Yeah.
Just like Will Ferrell says in The Other Guys, he wants some walking around shoes. Anyways, that's a side joke. Anyways, the point is, this lens is really versatile in a sense that if I'm standing right here, if you come back around, look, I'll put it back on the preview. I'm going to show you. So here we are. I'm all the way at 18 right now.
Yes.
So we got a wide angle, but I can go all the way to 55 on this thing.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, if you were standing right here in front of me, if I was at 50, I'm not going to get a lot of you, but since I can zoom,
yeah,
you know, like if you're in, you know, if you're close to your subject is what it is. So the only other lens I know I'd want to try eventually is like, I don't know, I think there's an 18 to 70, or I forget what it is.
Okay.
Where I could zoom a little further into you, you know, because this is 55.
Yeah.
But then again, you can just move the camera physically.
Cool. So what's the name of this place, John?
Oh, we're in St. Charles, so it's not far from Geneva and Elgin, and we're right here by the river. And this structure here is like a historic building. We're by the municipal buildings, but you have this old Hotel Baker across the way there. That's famous, I know. I think it's been in some movies, things like that.
Are they okay with people doing photography?
Yeah, probably. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
I think it'll be fine. So I didn't bring my stuff yet because I want to walk around for a minute and kind of scope out.
Yeah, see what
I
kind of
want
spots
to
you
do
got.
first instead of carrying everything.
Yeah, so you brought your tripod and
everything,
your Canon
I brought everything. Yeah,
Canon 70D and all that.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a little sign around here that says what that thing is all about. But see, you can see the firehouse is back there. Now that's obviously a new building, but that building to the left, I believe they converted that. So you'll see there's a lot of like old buildings that have been converted, and then there's just new construction, like on that side of the river. They're just like
that, yeah.
popping up everywhere. So this area is pretty trendy, I would say.
I like the way the water is rushing.
Yeah,
over
here,
there.
let's see, because yeah, this is high right now.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's pretty wild.
And of course, when you get to the other side, you can see these old structures. They're like shelters, if you will, like how a bus stop used to be.
Right.
But they're like all old, concrete or whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing with these lights here. This stuff is all part of the original architecture here in this town.
Very cool. It's a good spot, John.
Yeah, so here, let's take a walk. We'll just walk around for a minute.
What is this called? This is...
I forget. I think this is part of their, what you call it. It's part of like the town. I don't know if it's a tourist center. I can't remember. Let's see. Okay. It's a municipal building.
Municipal building.
So,
okay.
but it says like, it's a historic landmark. 1940 it says. So I guess it's always been, must always have been a municipal building. But I thought, like, when I've been here in the past during the day, I want to say they had like information, if you were visiting the town, you could find out about.
Alright, so this is good, guys. So you get to see what, as photographers, what we do is, we walk around, we kind of gauge the area and see what the good spots are. So this is...
Yeah, see, like even here, there's so many shots. Like you could use this bridge right here as the leading line to the hotel.
Right.
And if we were perched up here, we could totally like get rid of this and just see the water and on. So yeah, like what you're saying about like scoping things out, like to get some shots.
So what kind of shots do you think we get if we actually jump into the water?
I think you have a good shot of not surviving. Because let's put it this way, that water is probably still freezing.
Yeah.
And the current, the way it's going right now, unless you were probably an Olympic swimmer,
all right, guys. So
what you're gonna be able to keep up.
What you're gonna see right now is me and John. We're gonna jump into the water, and we're gonna try to make pictures from inside the water.
Yeah, and then later Frank's gonna cut it, and you're gonna see us somewhere else, like when we're all drenched, like we just doused water on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we made it out. Let's see what we got.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So here, see, like this is the front, obviously. Oh yeah, because this is I was gonna say, I don't know who this is. Let's see.
Looks like Dorothy. Oh, it says right down there, Delora Angel Norris.
Oh, this was put here in 2006, so she must have been somebody that probably contributed to the town or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm assuming, but yeah, okay. She was donating, donated to the town, it sounds like. Cool,
Oh, so this is the Fox River.
Yeah, Fox River. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that. That's the Fox River. I always thought these little structures were really cool.
They are cool.
You really feel the age of them. Like if you saw this in the daylight.
Yeah, they are cool.
You tell
I like
they've been
that.
around for a while.
I like that, actually.
And then that Hotel Baker, I know it's been in some movies. And there's always, of course, I don't know where I'm at.
You're fine.
Hi, everybody. I know, like, this place always has tons of weddings. Like, this is a popular spot.
Right.
Like, you'll see groups come out here from weddings and take photos along here.
Yeah.
With the river behind them.
Very cool. Kind of.
And then again, here, see, you know, different perspective. But all that stuff is new over there. These buildings, and you can see they're even building right now. It's probably going to be condos and
So
townhomes.
I would say this is more like a middle class type of area. I mean, or people with money, because it looks
It's definitely better to do. Let's say.
So since you work in real estate, what would you say this is more like affluent type of a neighborhood?
I would say so.
Yeah. Like, what would the price ranges of homes be in this area?
Well,
what do you think?
Okay, so where we're at right now is kind of like any town. You know, like in Chicago where you had Bucktown come up, and all the areas that you never would have paid anybody to live in the past. And, you know, when anything's popping up. So like right now across the street here, you probably get a condo for like $500,000, you know, but if you go back into the neighborhoods where the working class would be, let's say, or always have been, you're going to find something probably, you know, 300s.
Wow.
It just, again, it depends. Any market, wherever you are, it kind of goes with the territory. So this is the hot spot right now. So, you know, we could drive down the road and maybe save a little money. Now,
I see something down over there that it's not lit up. What is that?
That's another bridge right there.
You can't even see it on the camera.
Yeah, you can't see it, but again, if we walk down there, there's a walking path.
You can walk on there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You can walk, because it actually connects to the other side of the road, because this river, I forget how far down you have to go before you can finally get over again, but you can walk over that. And then the structure that I'm thinking about that's on the other side of that, I don't remember what it's called. It's almost like a big, not a tree house, I want to say, but you go up like 3 stories and you can look out.
Wow, that's crazy. Look at that shit. Nice.
Now, like in terms of St. Charles, I don't know the whole history of St. Charles, but in terms of what's going on right now with all this like building and construction for homes and living space here in the downtown area, that's more recent, you know. So like this was always a working class town. Yeah. I just think this is kind of like how Naperville would be, or similar. Naperville's on another level, you know.
Right. But, oh, so there's a clock on that tower too, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.